Welcome to Something Crunchy. Tyler is homies with Blake. Blake is the older bro of Blair. Blair is married to Tyler and is a slutty slut.
Welcome to Something Crunchy.
What the hell is crunchy?
Welcome to Something Crunchy. All right, back in the studio with Rep Tyler and Bladen. Let's put them up. What are we feeling tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, I'm ready for tonight.
Hell yes. We are fresh off of watching the new Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
We have deviated from all plans, changed everything that we had in store for tonight, and we are taking a deep dive right into the outer world.
It's needed.
Action flicks. Been a minute.
We're going to get into Nobody
Oh,
as well
so
later,
good.
and I have a lot to say about both movies.
Yes.
Let me organize my
There's a
thoughts
lot to
here.
discuss here.
Yep.
We're not prepared. Let's start with a synopsis.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Help us digest what we just saw. All right.
Mortal Kombat, right?
Yes. Synopsis per Rotten Tomatoes. In Mortal Kombat, MMA fighter Cole Young, accustomed to taking a beating for money, is unaware of his heritage or why Outworld's Emperor Shang Tsung has sent his best warrior Sub-Zero, an outworldly cryomancer, to hunt Cole down. Fearing for his family's safety, Cole goes in search of Sonya Blade in the direction of Jax, a special forces major who bears the same strange dragon marking that Cole was born with. Soon he finds himself at the temple of Lord Raiden, an elder god and the protector of the Earth Realm who grants sanctuary to those who bear the mark. Here, Cole trains with the experienced warriors Liu Kang, Kung Lao, and rogue mercenary Kano as he prepares to stand with Earth's greatest champions against the enemies of Outworld in a high-stakes battle for the universe. But will Cole be pushed hard enough to unlock his arcana, the immense power from within his soul, in time to not only save his family, but stop the Outworld once and for all? I doubt it. Blair, what were your first impressions?
Compared to the original, I like that this one was updated. It gave you what you wanted. It gave like impact.
Yeah.
Like
It
the
was.
fight scenes made you it gave you what you wanted from the original. I don't know. I liked it. I really did.
It was a modernized version. Biscuits, your thoughts?
The trailer was fucking amazing.
Best trailer
Well
ever.
said.
That's what I have to say about it.
Agree.
The trailer was amazing. I got into the movie, but yeah, awesome trailer.
Amazing marketing with the trailer.
One of the best 2.5 minutes on the internet.
Yeah, my first thoughts, slick design, absolutely. Huge upgrade from the 1995
Yes.
film. Beautiful as it was brutal in its violence.
Yes.
The cinematography was at times very next level.
Yes.
Straight up eye candy
Yes.
for a nice portion of
Yep.
the movie.
Agree.
It was fun and gory. It was not a flawless victory.
No.
No.
It was not.
No.
We're gonna break this down.
Yeah.
First, let's stick to the positive and some general stuff.
Okay.
And if you haven't figured it out already, spoiler alert. Big fat spoiler alert.
Yeah,
here.
we're getting in deep.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you've seen the movie or that you want to hear more about it than just what you're reading online about critic reviews in synopsi. So we're going to give it to you.
It's on HBO Max. Check it out.
I mean, the ensemble did work well together,
Yeah.
and I liked
Mhm.
the bigger commitment to the authentic Asian tone,
Yes.
which they completely abandoned about halfway through the second act.
Totally.
Just abandoned it.
Threw it out the window.
It was like we are
Started
going to...
off great.
Okay. So it started off with the origin story of Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one's Chinese,
good.
one's Japanese. They don't even understand each other. They just hate each other. And you can tell there's just deep hatred there. They bring up other people that never come to light.
Strong beef.
You think you're getting an origin story here. And that's the first 10 minutes of the movie. And it is so good. Superb.
Great intro.
Wow, was the first 10 minutes really good.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was the new Wolverine, and I was like, this is going to be awesome.
It set the bar high. Where I was like,
It did. And there's
Ready.
clearly going to be second, and probably it's going to be a franchise. They set it
Totally.
up. They
Yep.
set it up for
Yeah,
sequels.
Yep.
for sure.
That was obvious. I could tell you why they intended to set it up. And it's for the same reason a lot of you know already that Johnny Cage is the only Mortal Kombat character that wasn't in this movie.
He was not, was he?
No, you get Melina and Kung Lao and the guy with the hammer.
Like all the second
Who is that guy?
Mortal Kombat 2
I'm not sure who that was.
Yeah.
But
sequel characters.
no Johnny Cage. And it was for the reason that they didn't think the character fit. They were going for that authentic Asian feel and couldn't find a way to include Johnny Cage without taking away from concept. They said Johnny Cage is a protagonist, needs to be one, but it would have taken away from what they were going for in this one.
Yeah.
And I agree with what they were going for in the first 15 minutes of this one.
Cage could have shown up from the dead in the end and would have been like acceptable by then.
True. Excellent point. Biscuits.
They did refer to Johnny Cage at one point in the film, though.
They only did at the end just to tease that, like, I'm going to Hollywood. But why? It's not why. It's who. And speaking of which, you want to know what, like, gets me
He's
really
upset.
upset?
Why are you upset?
What
I
bubbles your biscuits?
I'll tell you what bubbles it right up. How do they make a better EDM song in 1995 than in 2021?
Yeah, totally.
How do you go 3 steps down from like that epic Mortal
I
Kombat?
do agree with that. It was so good the first time.
In 95, I was shadowboxing shit to that jam on repeat. You could find me in my room throwing bicycle kicks.
Yeah. 16 kick
I can
combo
tell you, it
across
was
the
a
bed.
treat to walk and see that. True story here.
So the song really fired up about the song. I mean, it wasn't bad. It just
No.
was a couple steps
You
down.
just
from-
realize, like, wow, it was so much actually like better the first time.
I think
Really,
it was more just the wrong placement because that song was pretty sick, like 2.5 minutes in again, and it needs to be cut down. The beginning was just like that build up. Like I lost it by the time the beat dropped.
Which is a shame because, like Blair said, the music and sound used in the movie was actually really good.
The Foley, I believe they refer to that as the sound effects.
Yeah,
It was badass.
that's right.
It was good.
The bone crunching, the skull
Way to
crunching.
industry term us.
Yeah, just throw a little.
No, like you felt it. Like that's what I liked about the fight scenes is like when they like the punch and the ice and it's like and like
Loved it.
All right.
loved that.
So I think overall, the casting was better in this one than in the first one,
Agreed.
Yeah.
with perhaps the exception of Sonya Blade.
Oh, I did like original Sonya.
I mean,
I didn't like
Veronica
dislike this
Vaughn
one.
is one piece of eight.
Is that her?
it was Bridget Wilson.
Well, of course y'all love
Yes.
her.
You know, we're all about the fun facts here. You want a fun
Of-
fact?
Of course we do.
Hit me.
If we're on the topic of Bridget Wilson, and I am so glad that we are, she auditioned for the part of Sonya Blade like multiple times, but due to a long casting process, she chose to do Billy Madison instead.
Ooh, smart
Christ-
choice though.
Christina Applegate was also considered for the role, but Cameron Diaz was cast for Sonya Blade.
What?
They loved her in The Mask, so they cast Cameron Diaz as Sonya Blade. However, Cameron broke her wrist during training just before filming.
What?
And it actually turned out, fortunately, filming on Billy Madison had just wrapped, making Bridget available again. So she happily took the role, even though it meant that she had to be flown to the set the next day and had to train for big fight scenes, like in between shooting the rest of the movie.
That's ridiculous.
You know what? That's awesome because I actually did love her. I loved her in Billy Madison. I loved her as Sonya Blade. That's so crazy. But Cameron Diaz, she's tall, she has athletics, she's cute. I feel like she would have done great. But I feel like Bridget was like on point as
And
Sonya.
she's not just a pretty face. She performed all of her own stunts, completely refusing to use a double.
Just
Yes.
imagine if she had time to like train for that role, she would have
I thought
won
she
a
was great.
Academy Award for that.
She dislocated her shoulder during one scene. They were able to fix it on set.
Wow.
Didn't happen
Oh,
again.
hell yeah, girl.
Like she's, I
That's
don't know,
awesome.
does she have a background in fighting? That sounds like somebody that's a pro.
No, but I
right
would
there.
love that. Do you know how fun that would be if I got cast as Sonya Blade? I would be like, please let me at least try it. If I can't do something like, I will throw my ass all over, like, teach me all of your ways, Bladen. Like,
Bladen.
Sonya Blade. Good point B. So I'm glad we got to bring up those fun facts because that's why I like Bridget for my Sonya. Other than that, I
Yeah.
actually think it was pretty well casted the whole way around
Raiden.
and upgrades.
I like the new Raiden.
That was
The
the,
new
most
Raiden.
significant upgrade.
the fact that they didn't whitewash the Japanese god of
Yeah,
lightning.
certainly made more sense this round, I feel.
I'm so glad that they used an authentic Raiden.
What was the first guy's name? God, we need to fact check that. Is it,
He was good, but this certainly just like made more sense with
Christopher
like
McDonald?
the whole story. Fact check.
God, what is his name? Never remember it.
Christopher
Ruani.
Lambert.
Lambert.
Ooh, Christopher Lambert.
Christopher Lambert.
Yeah.
I mean, Christopher, we enjoyed you. The hair was epic, but this Raiden just was like, well, this certainly makes
Feels
more.
right.
Yeah, this feels right. Makes more.
I thought it was a pile of shit. I think he's great as an actor. I thought that. The first one, I tried watching it again, and I remember how much cheese was served on those
Yeah.
burgers.
I
But
loved that cheese though.
wow, it was just unbearable
Really?
cheese. And the CGI and
so much.
effects and like all of that just did not make up for it. And they focused a lot more on the humor, kind of like they ended up doing in this one. They started focusing a lot on humor. Some of it worked with Kano.
Kano.
And
Yeah.
they were pushing it hard.
They sure
Um,
were. He was the only comic relief, really. They
He made it
tried other
work.
ways, but he was the only one that it worked.
Yeah.
You're right. They tried
Yeah.
in a lot of ways to bring comic relief. I don't know why. They started with this like awesomely, beautifully shot,
Epic.
violent, epic,
Yeah.
and Asian.
Incredible fight scene.
And you're expecting like Mortal Kombat. Okay, well, like the tournament, and
Yeah.
Scorpion Sub-Zero.
Here's
they
my-
fight, but there's no tourney.
I got a little beef, with this whole dog and pony show they call the Mortal Kombat franchise. If you're gonna go ahead and like remake a video game, you got to make it better than the game. That was the only reason why the first one worked at all, is because it was just a little bit better than the game
That's
as far as
true.
it looked. Like we were
Yeah.
watered down with the quality of the video game because it looked good for its time.
But for 1995, it was still pretty rough.
Yeah.
This is what I expected though, and it did give me that. As far as like at least even that Sub-Zero Scorpion and some of those other Scorpion moments, like that got me in a good place. Some of the Goro stuff, not so much.
Let's get into Goro, because Goro didn't get a lot of screen time in this one.
Thankfully.
And I get why.
trying to be some shock factor.
Because CGI felt a little strange when Goro was up there. He had just, everything was so real and awesomely done. And then just like they bring in like the Hulk out of nowhere. And it was just,
CGI, I felt like it was a little Goomba-like.
it was a little Goomba like.
Yeah.
And I just expected a little bit more.
Yeah.
That was not next level. Goro.
His body was cool and his size, and again, this sound and
I liked
audio
how he
was
got
cool.
fucked up. Like it was cool seeing like what a 4-arm man would look like getting fucked up because he like got his bottom
Yeah.
left
His
arm
face could've
broken,
been
and then he
better.
brought that back into place, and that was alright to look at.
That was
but
cool. He did get fucked up by our new protagonist character that we have no attachment or give any shit about.
Yeah, who is that guy?
I already forgot his name.
Yeah.
Cold, young. Shit.
That's why tournament style would have been so much better again.
Story
Like-
mode's lame. Come on.
What they were trying to do is come to Earth and prevent the tournament from happening. That was
Right.
Shang Tsung's plan.
Okay.
And it wasn't the right way to go. Goro didn't fight anyone in like the pit or this awesome like fucking palace of hell.
Which
no.
is where you
He
want
f-
him to fight.
He fought him right in front of dude's little sister, and
Aunt Jan's house, right? In the neighborhood cul-de-sac. Like, that's not a map I'm trying to pick when I got first picks.
yeah.
Yeah, winner stays and picks the map. I'm not going to Aunt Jan's.
Yeah, what are we doing? The Pit, Shang Tsung's Empire,
Hell's Fire. Aunt Jan's.
Aunt Jan's front yard.
No.
Don't scare the chickens. That was where the Goro fight happened.
Ed, call the cops.
All 5 minutes of it. So there was a lot of predictability and cliches.
yeah.
There was.
There was. There certainly fucking was.
And they tried to I wish they wouldn't have served so much cheese.
Yeah.
I wish
There's-
they
I
wouldn't have
again
served
like
as much cheese.
I like
as
a
they
moderate
did.
amount of cheese. Like I'm not a hater of cheese.
I wish they
you
wouldn't
know
have
I love
served
It's a
as much cheese.
50-50 ratio of meat and cheese. You
Right.
can't overdo the
the
cheese.
balance.
This was like 70-30 cheese to meat ratio.
There's just a lot of lines that could have been left out and made a stronger movie. Like, don't they get that? Like, why don't they resist to like put in this
They had
cheesy
to, no.
lines? Like,
They
God,
can't help themselves. It's like, you know what that scene needs?
a cheesy line.
Just a
Piece
bit
of
more cheese.
shit cheese line at the
What
end.
would The Rock say at this moment?
Yeah.
There it is.
What's gonna
So
make The
fucking
Rock
cheesy.
want to be into the franchise for the sequels?
So the plot ended up a little flat.
Yeah, agree.
I mean, we were here for the good fights, and
Yeah.
we were here for some next level effects, and we did get a lot of that.
Yeah, the ice storm was cool.
Man,
When
Sub
he was
Zero.
just like- yeah, Sub-Zero like brought what you wanted. I wish all the
Talk about
characters, like,
Sub-Zero
brought
for a minute.
He
what
stole the
did.
CGI
Yeah.
show.
He really did.
But in the like in a good way.
Yeah,
that
totally.
whole in the street, like shooting everything, like you felt that.
That didn't feel so CGI. That felt just, that was cool.
That was well done.
Now, some effects and some concepts were stolen.
Yeah.
Like, they stole the reverse rain scene right out of the second Now You See
Now
Me.
you see me. I was
movie.
thinking about that when that happened.
Cinematography, like, yeah, that was really, really cool
Or
when
the-
it happened
When
the
they
first
did
time
it,
a
and
few
Now
years
You See
ago.
Me.
The third Matrix when they did it too.
Yep. And don't forget the concept of the guy's like suit absorbing energy to give back, which was, yeah, I remember that. Black Panther was great.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
really cool concept when they did that.
yeah.
That was a fun movie. They made a
Totally.
3-hour movie out of that.
Yeah, they did. That was a wild success, was it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black Panther?
Animal Farm.
Pretty
Yeah.
sure like everyone loved that.
Remember
Animal
when
Farm.
like the suit absorbs the energy and then like gives it back?
And, like he already did that.
Rockin' idea. First time.
When they did that. I mean, they did some classics.
Act 3 felt rushed as shit. Like the writers had 5 minutes left to finish that script before turning it in.
Shove the rest in.
It was like we had a nice pace going for the beginning and a nice Asian patina, completely abandoned, gone. Leave that idea.
Should have kept
I'm over
it.
it. I'm over it. We'll just do something different.
Fuck it. It's a different movie now.
And now training.
Get it done.
You know,
Lots
We're
of
over
training.
budget.
get excited about the origin of Scorpion and Sub-Zero and watch Kano and Sonya Blade and Jax for the next hour and a half.
Yeah, Jack's like grow some arms for a while.
We'll bring them back for a final fight. Don't worry.
The activation was a fun process just to wait for everybody to be able to use their powers one time before the end of the movie. Fucking cool.
Yeah, some already kind of came with their powers. Others had to be activated,
Yeah.
as we were saying
Yeah.
throughout the movie. That was our term for it. Because, yeah, we walk back in. She been activated? Sonya got her bracelet? All right.
She's not even in yet.
She's still training? She's been training.
She's a hanger on her still.
I seen Blair walking back in the room as Jax's arms are getting torn apart. And she's like, oh, I like that.
We had just like these little dinkers, like, you know, I have a thing with like teeny hands. So like
Yeah.
little teeny robots just trying to hit with
Yeah.
like a big guy. Like, you know, he wants to use like these little things like so hard. And
They
then, like,
replaced Jax's monster arms with like these little, grab my little hand.
yeah, yeah. It's like,
Strong
Grab my
hand.
strong hand.
well, then I come back in and he's got his like monster back, and I'm just like, yes,
He had to be activated, Blair.
Yeah.
that's when it's active.
Doesn't happen
Activation.
until like
His
10
pistons
minutes left.
kicked in later.
Complete.
Activation complete. So I guess we're kind of giving the mixed review because we have mixed feelings. And keep in mind that we had no time to organize our thoughts. This is
No.
like
This
fresh
is like
Yeah.
an
off
initial
the
review.
flick. It is
right
like
off the top.
turn it off, mic's on. A lot to like.
True.
I'd like to do it again live. You know, like, we're watching the movie, we're doing commentary, and people can press play at the same time.
Press play now. So we have an idea for a sister podcast, and let us know if you think this would be cool.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like a
Interactive podcast.
well, it's a Mystery Science Theater 3000, but like our take. Like we'll pick some random movies, we press play at the same time, and you could hear our commentary over like either movies
like
we're
you
watching for
watch
the
with
first
us.
time or movies that we know so well
Classics.
can annoy the fuck out of you the
Oh,
whole
and there
thing.
are many, let me tell you.
Oh man. You remember our Did Dottie drop the ball on purpose episode? You want to go watch A League of Their Own with us? No, you do not.
No, you do not.
No, you do not.
I cannot watch that with anyone.
You'll come
especially
out
with
the other
Blake.
end wiser.
You know, you could fuck yourself if you still think that she did that on purpose.
I will argue this shit all day long.
I'm telling you with all sincerity that I am trying with every ounce of my ability to get Lori Petty on this show.
She's not gonna like me.
to tell you.
I love her. I hope she
to
understands
tell
that.
you.
I'm sorry that
Yep.
Dottie dropped it on purpose.
Gonna get
I'm
learned.
sorry.
Lori gonna come on and learn.
I love you. I miss you and I love you.
So there were some characters we didn't get. It's weird the characters that we got in Mortal Kombat, like the ones that they choose to put in. Like we got a Melina, but we didn't get a Katana.
Right?
Yeah. Was it katana swords?
I think so, Blair.
Like that would have been
Some kind of
wonderful.
arm
No.
extension.
No, they were fans. They were like bladed fans. Katana had the fans.
Katana.
You're thinking of,
I remember Katana being pretty hot.
is it Sai with the tiny swords? Jade was in there. Jade had like a
Jade.
big sword.
Ooh.
Yeah, where was Jade?
Where was swords?
Where was Katana? And we had huge dude with the hammer, Colonel something that no one remembers. And then,
Right? Yeah, that guy.
but no Noob Sagat.
Noob Saibot.
Noob Saibot.
Smoke. He-
Smoke.
He was
Remember
the
Noob
jam.
Saibot?
Cybex.
That's why it should have all been tournament style. I
Bl-
needed like the voice, like calling
Yeah.
everybody's names and getting them like together.
All right. Fun fact or trivia fact?
Fun fact.
Trivia fact.
I agree. Where did they get Noob Saibot's name from?
I have no idea.
It's probably a coder's name backwards.
It's definitely something backwards.
It is definitely something backwards.
yeah.
Programmer Ed Boon and artist John Tobias are credited with originally creating Mortal Kombat.
Snaps.
So Tobias and Boon, Noob
Saibot.
Saibot.
Love it.
What do you give it? How many? What are we gonna put this on? Like,
If it was like on the crunch scale.
yeah, on the crunch scale.
Like how
Like we have to
crunchy
give it a
was it?
rating.
Yeah,
If we
like-
had to give it a crunchy rating.
I can't be tied to this rating because I need to digest it, and I
For
don't
sure.
want to
It's
be
too
caught
early.
in like recency bias. Like
I
I
need
really
to watch it again alone.
name your sex tape.
I knew that was coming. I'm like,
Name of your new OnlyFans page.
Donate tokens to something crunchy at Blair's.
At blairfeet.com.
Doing something.
are we gonna
way
start
dirtier.
getting DMs asking for pictures of my feet?
I'm gonna
now?
keep bringing
I
it
hope
up.
so.
I'm gonna talk it into existence.
Yeah.
Need that feet money.
Yeah.
Could use some new equipment around here. Blair.
Right.
Don't you want to see us, people? Don't you want these YouTube videos to have like some faces
Yeah.
on them? Isn't that what we want? Got to have that camera. Feet pics.
Pay
Used
extra
underwear
for
and
Tyler
feet
feet.
pics from Blair. Online coming soon.
Okay. All right. Last fun fact. In the original film, and it's only because you, Jean-Claude Van Damme, were so excited about tonight's episode.
Yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme turned down the role of Johnny Cage to do Street Fighter.
Ooh.
What's up?
Oh,
He would have been a great Johnny Cage.
Well, and it's
classic
funny.
Van Damme decision making.
It's funny because the character in the games were allegedly originally based on him.
Yeah, he'd be perfect for that.
Yeah, he's the guy.
They did a lot of characters based on movies.
No, he would have made that like incredibly epic.
That's why the
The
game
cheese would
is
have been
so.
like totally balanced.
That's why the game is so relatable because all of the characters were loosely based off of people you already knew.
It's true. Like Raiden, he was based on like from the villain that Kurt Russell actually
Yes.
like Big Trouble in Little China.
yes.
Oh my gosh.
Kano with the metal plates in his face on the one
Yeah.
side, directly from the T-8000's appearance in Terminator 2,
Yup.
Judgment Day.
Ooh.
And what's his name?
Liu Kang, Bruce Lee.
Yes, Liu Kang is basically Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And then a lot of it was Jean-Claude Van Damme, especially for Johnny Cage's
Johnny
character.
Cage. Johnny fucking Cage.
Johnny fucking Cage. All right, I'm going to give you my score. Do we want to do it? What stars out of 5 or
Are you thinking stars? I'm thinking like a Richter scale
out of 10?
with
No,
like a 5.4
I feel like there needs to
or
be
something.
categories. Like there's
Oh,
like
jeez.
creativity.
This has gotten so complicated. I'm going to give this movie a 7.5 out of 10 on the Richter scale.
I like that.
And
Okay.
I do because there was some groundbreaking cinematography.
Yes.
There was a lot of awesome fight scenes. That's what you
Yes.
come for. You do get pumped up at a lot of times. They lost points because they abandoned the original story that they got us excited about in the beginning. And they added a lot of cheese. They focused on the wrong characters. They should have slowed down. This is clearly made for multiple movies. They should have
Yes.
focused on Scorpion and Sub-Zero in this one, slowly introduced characters, and then over time, we shouldn't have even seen Goro for another movie. We should have heard about Goro in this movie.
Yeah, it should have been
Until we
build-up.
saw him in the tournament that they should have had.
7.5.
If it's not in the next one. Okay. I actually agree with Blake. When you say 7.5,
It feels right.
it does, because I can't quite give it an 8, although I want to, because I just am passionate about Mortal Kombat, and it did give me what I need, but maybe in the next one, they'll
Mhm.
get me to an 8.
Mm-hmm.
I think you guys are generous. I'm giving it a 6.
Wow. See,
Really?
now that's a little rough.
What
Yeah.
brings it down the most for you?
The game is better than the movie now. So they didn't do anything more. They didn't wow me over what I've seen on the video game. Like
You're
if
a
I-
gamer, so like
Yeah,
you're
if I wanted to experience Mortal Kombat, the movie is not the best way the game is right now. So I give it a 6.
Stern but fair.
it's an honest call.
It's a 6.
He's a tough one.
Yeah.
Wow.
When it's like video game related, like he knows his shit. So
Well, he brought our average score down. So, like, something crunchy can't give it a 7.5. We get that times 2. So it's really like a 7, I
it's
think.
about a 7
We get it at a 7.
overall.
Yeah.
That seems about right.
Yep.
All right. Well, a nice review
It's
for a
must-see
good movie.
for
I'm excited to see it
nostalgia.
again. Why? If you had the chance to see it in the theater on the big screen, IMAX, do yourself a favor and
Oh,
see
that
it
would
on
be
Bigger
cool
the
on
better.
IMAX.
The bigger,
yes.
the
bigger,
better.
the louder, the better.
per use. The bigger, the better. I'm eager to get back into it, and when we do, we're not beating around the bush.
Wonder why we say that.
Funny you should ask. Let's talk about a father-son duo that host a new podcast called Why Do We Say That?, where they look into why we say certain phrases in our everyday lexicon without really knowing where they come from. Everyone says things like paint the town red or got his bell rung, and these guys will make you laugh while teaching you the origins of these common phrases. New episodes are released every Tuesday and are available wherever you get your podcast. Go fuel up for your next trivia night and learn Why Do We Say That?
Hi, everybody. Thank you for listening to Something Crunchy, and we hope you're enjoying the episode. It now pays to crunch down every week because we're hooking you up with big discounts from big brands. Up to 35% off Invicta watches using code CRUNCHY and apparel from 8080, where in addition to 10% off using code CRUNCHY, every dollar you spend goes towards an entry in their dream car giveaway. Don't forget to join the Something Crunchy Facebook group for updates, polls, and the web's crunchiest memes. You can find us on Twitter at crunch_cast, and feel free to send any questions and track submissions to somethingcrunchy@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the show.
And we're back.
Yeah.
Finish him. That was good stuff.
That's good.
Love that.
Yes,
Yeah, mixed bag of emotions on the movie.
I know.
But that was a good review. I'm excited to move on. Talking about Mortal Kombat has us pumped talking about some best fight scenes and best
Yeah.
fight movies.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get to we didn't want to spoil it too hard with specific scenes and fights. So we didn't really get into that with Mortal Kombat, but we could sure do it with other
Yeah.
movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a excellent place to start. You know what we haven't done in a while?
What's up?
Let's fist the list.
Ooh, yeah.
Taking it way back.
Appropriate for tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, we are fisting this list so hard.
Ooh, we got a good one.
I'm upset looking at this list.
You
I'm
look
upset just
upset.
looking at it.
Who is it?
All right, so
Who's this
someone
piece
put
of
out
crap?
best movie fight scenes.
Okay.
This was Ben Sherlock from Screen Rant. And he put this out on Valentine's Day this year. Ben, we need to talk, Ben. First things first, we are going to fist the shit out of this list because he gave us a top 10 fight scenes. And let me tell you where I just have problems all over this thing. I mean, Blair, when I ask you most epic fight scenes.
Yeah. Rocky, Kill Bill, Warrior.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
I mean.
Son of a bitch, that's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. God, that's good. This guy has, at number 10, Cliff Booth and Brandy versus the Mansion Murderers and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And at 9, he's got Cheney against Street and Hard Times. At 6, he's got Indiana Jones against the Mechanic in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, all right.
Really?
But
Reaching.
top 10?
At number 3, John Nada against Frank Armitage in They Live. Number 2, we got James Bond against Red Grant from Russia with Love. And then in number 1, they have the hallway fight in Old Boy, which was good.
Yeah,
I can
it needs to be
appreciate that.
mentioned.
A lot of people are going to have that on the list.
On the list.
Doesn't deserve to be number 1.
Not on my list.
Glaring issues with this list.
Minor league
Ben.
list.
That was terrible. Poor effort. Poor effort.
Like
So,
mentionables, but like top 10s.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know. It's tough.
Poor.
don't let him off the hook, Blair. I'm disgusted. This is despicable. We're going to do this right. Our list is going to be based on fight quality, cinematography,
Ooh, yes.
uniqueness,
Yes.
maybe a little nostalgia.
Of course.
Mhm.
With that said, Tyler, what's the first things that come to your mind? Best fight scenes.
I think there's so many
It's
amazing
hard.
ones that he left off that list. I don't even know where to start, but like Bloodsport, I mean, probably any of the first 4 fights with Frank Dukes, Jean-Claude Van Damme, just like his warm-up fights were like, okay.
Like the cinematography
Superior fight.
and fight quality. That checks some boxes.
A little sidebar about Bloodsport. My parents would go on date night when I was like, 7, 8 years old. So it was time to pick a movie night for Tyler. Get a Tostitos party pizza and a movie.
And you picked Bloodsport?
And I got Bloodsport, one of my
Wow.
first ones. And that's where I discovered Jean-Claude and his body of work. And from there out, it was all Jean-Claude movies. I saw Kickboxer, Kickboxer 2, Kickboxer 3 back in the city.
Man.
You name it, I was all over it.
No one saw Kickboxer 3. You are one of like 108 people
Yeah.
that saw Kickboxer 3.
Your parents were probably like, thank God he's so into this fucking
Jean-Claude
Van Damme
saves the marriage.
series. Yeah, right. Like, that's more date night. Here's more Jean-Claude Van Damme, whatever 3. Like,
He came up
whenever
with a
he's
new
pumped
one.
about it.
Honey, you want to go out to eat tonight or what? Jean-Claude just dropped a hot new one, 4 hours long.
Has your name written all over
He
it.
was the Liam Neeson's of the day.
It was late 80s.
How Liam Neeson's has been babysitting the new generation.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Jean-Claude did for us. All right, Bloodsport, quality. What else you think of?
IP Man?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
IP man.
IP Man's like one of the best
Spoken like a man that knows his shit.
fight movies ever. I don't know. There's a few of those out now, and pick any one of them, and you're going to see some amazing fight scenes, some choreography that you've probably seen in other movies, but this movie came out before that one did.
It's true.
Like
Original recipe is always the best.
yeah. Everything you've seen in The Matrix was tried and true on IP Man.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm. Absolutely.
And then Best of the Best. Yeah,
Oh,
there's about
I mean, obviously needs to be on the list.
1 and 2.
How are you going to have Eric Roberts on the show and then not bring up best of the
Yeah.
best when it comes to like the fight sode?
Yeah.
Even like 10-year-old Blair would have said best of the best.
Yeah. It tugs at your heart. It tugs at your balls. It's got all the
It hits
tugs.
you in all the right places.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm going to try and put our list together here. I'm going to include your thoughts with my thoughts to make what should be the correct top 10. I'm going to start with Gladiator,
Yes.
specifically the Maximus versus Tigris versus the Tigers.
Yes.
The tiger fight,
Absolutely needs to be on the list.
choreographed by Phil Nielsen, directed by Ridley Scott. That was revolutionary at
Yes.
the time. The cinematography for that was next level.
Yes.
That was something different. That was special.
Right.
It belongs here. One, a lot of people don't think about. Inception, the gravity fight. When in the hallway,
Yes.
that is not only is there a fight going on, but like the room is basically shifting at the
Turning.
same time. The way that was shot, and that was special.
Oh my God, I remember
Different.
exactly what you're talking about.
Choreographed by Tom Struthers, directed by Christopher Nolan. Next level.
Yes, well done.
Checks the boxes. In our third spot, I'm going to completely agree with Blair's choice for Warrior. Love that movie. That
Brother
was
versus brother.
fuck. That was a good movie.
Yeah, it
Who was that?
Tom Hardy and Hugo. What's his name? Fuck.
It was like Tom
Oh,
Hardy's
yes, from
breakout
Smoking
movie.
Aces.
But the championship fight specifically with the brothers, exactly like you mentioned, choreographed by J.J. Perry, directed by Gavin O'Connor. That was
Oh, you try not
Supreme.
to like that movie when you're watching it.
love that. Kill Bill, also like you said, specifically
Yes.
the bride versus
Oof.
maybe Go-Go and the Crazy 88.
Oh, killed it.
Tarantino deserves a place on this list,
Yes.
and he deserves it for
For
that
sure.
fight specifically.
Yes.
That was so deliciously violent and fun, and
That was the one that went black and white for a
Yeah.
little bit and then back to
Yeah.
color. And yeah. That was
Oh, it was so cool. So crazy.
such a long scene. They just didn't get cut up. They were sliced up and spraying
Oh,
blood.
so gory.
like a real samurai scene.
Epic. Rocky. Specifically, we'll say Rocky Balboa against Apollo Creed.
Apollo.
And we'll say Rocky 2, where they're both getting up to win. And,
Oh my
and
God.
Rocky
I was crying.
gets his first victory.
Cried.
I still cry when I watch that.
I do too. Cry.
One of the most inspirational movies ever made.
This was before Raging Bull. This was before,
Great
all
fight.
of these new modern, and we're taking all genres of
Yeah.
fight movies into consideration. I like how we're going from samurai to boxing to MMA to, I like how we're using all of it.
Yeah. Jared Leto's scene in Fight Club's got to be an honorable mention where he just gets
Absolutely.
absolute
course.
snot kicked out
Oh,
of him.
that's hard to watch.
Beyond recognition, that's a bad fight scene.
And I like how you tagged it as honorable mention because it would have to have been a better fight to be deserved on the list. However, absolute
It was
honorable
so
mention for just,
dirty and just like
beating.
rough. Ugh.
well, let's keep it Brad Pitt. What about Snatch?
Yeah.
One Punch
Oh,
Mickey
yeah.
takes on Horace
Oh my
Goodnight
God.
Anderson.
And the bare knuckle boxing
That
match.
character was
The way that
You
was
put
shot.
Gorgeous George in a bare knuckle boxing match against the pikey.
It's fucking good.
that was good.
You know when we do the impressions part
Yeah.
at the end of the finale episode? That's going to be what you hear at the end of season 4. Yeah. You wouldn't have that awesome Sherlock Holmes fight if it wasn't for the Snatch fight before.
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes deserves to be on this list, but he can't because Snatch is where they got that.
Yeah, they wore it
That
better.
cinematography. He did wear it better.
Who wore it better? It was
Well,
Snatch.
Well put.
Snatch.
You hit the nail on the head with IP, man. That Donnie Yen against the 10 black belts.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That was awesome.
If you ask any like professional fighter or any like sensei what their favorite movie is, and
IP, man.
IP Man.
Really?
The way
Hands
that this
down.
guy gets beat in the face over and over and over. Like it is, think of a bicycle kick, but with fists to a guy's face for like
Oh my God.
10 to 15 seconds. Holy shit. Choreographed by Sammo Hung, directed by Wilson Yip. All of those movies were the shit.
Yeah.
Now, I struggle with this one too. And I think it deserves a place on here. There's a couple fights that you could use from Kingsman, The Secret Service. But the church fight, specifically with Leonard Skinner, Freebird
Oh,
playing behind it,
yeah.
Yeah.
that is an epic fight that was shot really, really well.
I got another quick honorable mention from the new X-Men franchise. Evan Peters, is that his name? That fight
Oh,
scene where it
yeah.
goes slow
Is that a-
motion and
There's an explosion scene where he's flying through saving everybody.
No, they're all in the room.
Yeah.
right?
In the room, and he's
I feel like I can't believe I know what you're talking about.
about.
Right now.
Later in the same movie, I know exactly what you're talking
yeah,
about.
he runs in the same room around in a circle, 360 degrees, and he just like kind of sets the scene for everybody that's about to get ambushed.
It slows everything down.
Slows it
and,
all
like,
down
Takes
and
everything
then
apart
right
and changes everything.
Yeah, and then the bullets miss all of his friends.
Manipulates everything.
Yeah, the buddies get punched in the face.
Ooh.
That scene, every time I see it with the music in the background, I'm like, this is like cinematic gold.
No,
right here.
I
Whoever
know
came up
that
with
because
this
you
is the
told me to
best
come
scene
watch
I've
that. I
ever
was like,
seen.
no, come watch this scene right now.
That's awesome. At least an honorable mention, if not better. In Kingsman, can't decide between the church fight or the like bar fight. The
Manners maketh man. Are we going to stand around here all day? Or are we going to fight?
Obviously, we're gonna fight.
Kingsman's great.
yeah, that was good. And then you get into like the real deal, like Ninja Shadow of a Tear, the bar fight in that scene, choreographed by Tim Mann, directed by Isaac Florentine. Epic beyond proportion. Just look at the YouTube video for
Gotta love a
Ninja
good
Shadow
bar
of a
fight.
Tear bar fight. Now the Raid movies are top tier. And this has the guy that
fight.
played Sub-Zero
Really?
in Mortal Kombat that we
he
just
was,
played.
and he was like stellar.
One of the stars of the movie.
Yeah, no, I like that icy intro. Like, got me.
You could tell all of his martial arts were flawless. Like that guy's been doing this for 30, 40
Yeah,
years.
no, he was like my favorite parts.
I'm going to pull up the Raid 2 kitchen fight scene here.
I've definitely never seen Raid, so
Me neither.
this is got a first timer over here.
This thing lasts 7 minutes
What?
and gets to just different levels. I sincerely believe that this final battle, the kitchen scene that you're looking at here, is the finest piece of fight choreography ever filmed. Near perfect fusion of sight, sound, and emotion. This was as tits as it gets as far as fight choreography. It was.
No, I agree.
That must have been 40 or so moves that they both did a piece. That was a single shot. They never cut away. I wonder how long that goes on a single shot. Those two
That was
are
professional. That is
Legit.
so professional. That's how you do it. You want to do a good fight scene like butter. It's like seeing a beautiful dancer like do their thing. I mean, that is just like a machine.
It is. And that's what makes it like so cool. There's just something so epic and impressive about the way it's shot.
Oh,
And
it's absolutely impressive.
It's a really cool genre. Let's get into some honorable mentions. A couple I thought along the way. Blair, any that you have that you're thinking that we missed? that
I do.
Deserve a mention?
I feel like I just need to throw a couple out there. I mean, I remember the Happy Gilmore versus Bob Barker.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that was like pretty
Pretty funny.
enjoyable. I thought Scott Pilgrim versus the World had
Yeah. That,
Nice.
really
Yeah, there you
good
go.
fight scenes that like surprised me. I got really into, really enjoyed those. I liked how it was like the gamer infusion, cool way to do that.
The Roxy versus Ramona fight and
So good.
Scott Pilgrim was pretty dope.
Yes, the screaming and just like the perfect way that they do this. You mentioned Gladiator, and I feel like 300 could also kind of like go
Sure.
in that mix.
Well,
Where
now that you bring that up, the next thing we're going to do when we finish honorable mentions is going to be best fight movies of all time. Because you can't pick a scene out of that movie that would have
agree,
been
that's
in
what
that
you
list.
mentioned it.
But that is one of the best fight movies of all time. So we'll just make a new list and do it quickly after we make our honorable mentions for best
Yeah.
fight scenes. And you're right.
I mean, needs to be there. And then Kick Ass. Like
Totally.
especially when Chloe Grace Moretz was still like a young, sweet little girl, and you just see her like with the butterfly knife, just
Totally.
like kicking ass,
Beating
and
the
being
shit out of people.
cussing
Yeah,
and
that was
talking
cool.
shit and kicking ass. Like that was fun.
Mad Max Fury Road had a couple
Yes.
epic fight scenes in there. That Bourne versus Dash scene in the Bourne Ultimatum still holds up.
Those
Pretty
were
good.
Not gonna lie, still holds up.
Yeah.
Let's get into our best fight movies of all time. We already talked about a couple that just we're gonna throw on here. The Raid 2, Warrior.
Yeah.
We'll just call the IP Man franchise.
Yep.
Just
Throw
all of
that on
it.
there. The Rocky franchise.
It needs to be there.
Call it
All
on
there.
there.
Yep.
Kill Bill franchise.
Sure.
Yep.
We'll put it on there. 300 from
Yes.
2006. Absolutely.
So good.
The Matrix
Oh.
got to be on there.
The Matrix
Yes.
franchise from 99 to present because we can expect
Can't.
4 coming out.
Yes.
Fucking wait.
Man. And there were some epic fight scenes in there that you could pick out that deserve at least an honorable mention as greatest fight scene ever.
Yeah.
T2 Judgment Day, specifically the scene at the end with the two Terminators
Terminator.
T1000,
in the T8000.
T200.
Did we mention
Would.
the Karate Kid?
Ooh,
No, we didn't.
honorable mention at least.
I mean, just as like for classic.
For
Ninth
nostalgia.
inning save for B with Karate Kid.
It just like needs to be mentioned.
Here's
Yeah, it does.
here's the problem that I have with the Karate Kid franchise.
Here's the
what?
beef.
I love
Blake
Karate
Scott
Kid.
with Karate
And
Kid.
and let me preface this with Mr. Miyagi is one of the best characters ever
Of
put
all
on
time.
screen.
Yeah. Pat
love
Morita
him.
is the fucking man.
Oh,
With,
agreed.
with that said, what I don't like about the Karate Kid franchise is that it promotes the idea that you can have your villain character who has been a lifelong student of the art who gets defeated by this kid who's been learning for the last 2 months.
He had Mr.
You
Miyagi.
can't promote the idea that a crash course over a couple months will allow you to beat someone
Well,
who's done this
Unless
their whole
you
life.
find him Mr. Miyagi.
It's quality over quantity. You know, Sensei Kreese had 300 students, but Mr. Miyagi only had the one. So
And
who's
sometimes
better?
you just have it.
It's all about
Sorry.
fighting.
I just
the
like
right
I just don't
reasons.
like the principle behind
I
it.
get
I don't
it.
like the idea.
I totally
It's-
get it. It's like don't work your ass off because this person's just totally gonna come in and like.
So we'll call it an
Snatch it
honorable
anyway.
mention at least,
It's, just do your homework. Don't find a Kreese. Find a.
right?
Find yourself a Miyagi,
Yeah.
you'll be just fine.
Enter the Dragon deserves to be on this list.
Yeah,
Ooh.
all things Bruce Lee.
All
but
things, Bruce
Yeah,
Lee.
incredible.
Enter the Dragon specifically was probably one of the best that he did.
So here's a question: does
Okay.
Mortal Kombat from 2021 deserve to be on here?
No, it doesn't.
No,
Nope. I don't think
not
so.
when I'm looking at like Warrior and Rocky and
No, certainly not for like those. All had great plots.
it would be
Great
honorable
scripts.
mention 100% because I really enjoyed
This
some
is-
of those fights.
This is another, factor of the nostalgia machine.
It is,
Yes.
and you can say it's all relative. I'd argue with you. I really will. But for those people who you haven't said the movie that's on my mind, all right, let's finish off our honorable mentions. Green Street Hooligans has to be
Oh
on
my
here.
God,
Don't forget about it.
Blake, I'm
Put
so
it
glad
on.
you
Yeah.
said
Ninja
that.
Assassin needs to be a part of this
Oh,
list.
yeah.
Atomic Blonde, at least an honorable mention for best fight scene.
Charlize.
Put that on there.
Yeah.
Beginning scene of Watchmen, that makes that movie
Oh.
deserve to be on here alone. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yes.
I know. It's
course.
on here.
Yeah.
Okay, we
Yeah.
said it.
We said it.
Same with House of Flying Daggers. Okay, you want that too? Said it. Bloodsport, we said it. Gladiator said it. Kick-Ass, we said it. Karate Kid, we said it. Sin City, what's up?
Oh, Sin City,
bad.
good.
John Wick, all right,
Yeah.
all right. We said
He
it.
said,
We said it.
Spider-Man.
Fight Club.
If we're going down that road, Spider-Man deserves a little spot.
Whoever that one person is freaking out for Jet Li, hero. Okay, hero.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
we said it.
Shanghai Nights. Okay.
You know what else was a fucking rocking movie? Mortal Kombat's not the only movie that we watched this week. We saw another pretty
No.
badass
Yeah, we
action
did.
flick. Let's talk about Nobody.
Oh my
Think about-
God.
Bob kicking
Yeah.
ass for an hour and 40.
I was so pumped to see Bob Odenkirk in a
You know
roll
what?
like this.
You know what the tomato meter is going off about
What?
on Nobody?
Tell me.
82% on the tomato meter,
Yeah.
94% audience score.
Nice.
And it feels fitting.
Yeah.
I agree,
What a-
everybody.
I'm part of the 94.
What a
Yeah.
fun movie that was. John Wick meets Home Alone. Seriously.
Yeah, seriously.
It was
100%.
like the storyline from John Wick. It like has a different beginning, but it turns into John Wick and ends up as Home Alone. Yeah, John Wick with Bob Odenkirk. You know, I didn't think Bob had it in him.
No. And then
Rocked the
it's
shit out of it in this one.
You knew he could talk. You know, he's a smart guy, but like, can he kick ass?
But can he kick ass?
Is the question.
Right? Like, we know that
Yes,
he can lawyer.
he can.
We know he can talk. We know he
Right.
can comedy.
Right.
But can he like Bruce Willie?
No, he's always like pussed out. He's always taking the high road and pussed out.
He's a mouth.
And like, yeah.
He's a mouth.
But not
But
this
but
one.
no. Nobody was good.
He was a trigger finger
Yeah.
in
And
this one.
it was deliciously violent.
Yeah.
Well shot.
Fun cast.
Lots of cool fight scenes. A very, very strong antagonist. I really liked the bad guy, even though it was a walking cliche for a bad guy in an action movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still really liked him. The ending, not my favorite. Not my tempo.
No.
Not my tempo. The recipe only called for like a cup of cheese, and it was just piled on there at the end. I really was enjoying the Christopher Lloyd character until the ending. I got bothered there.
I liked it. Christopher Lloyd and Reza, it was delightfully cheesy. I mean,
Just
you knew that it
only
was
at
gonna
the
give you
end.
that- Yeah.
Took itself seriously and badass
It
until
was
the end.
good
Yeah.
music. It was shot well. It was super entertaining. But I did love the Christopher Lloyd Reza moment. I don't want to give a full spoiler, but yes,
I was
so
hoping-
cheesy at the end. But
I
yeah,
was like, fingers crossed, hoping Christopher Lloyd was going to get to kick some fucking ass.
He did.
he
And
did.
He did.
In the first
He
part when
did.
he did, and when it was so appropriate and awesome, it was like, fuck yeah. And at the end, when it was so cliche and fucking
40
Nope.
minutes late.
Devil's Rejects plus every other
Yes.
cliche you can think of in an action movie. I mean, overall, it was a solid Bruce Willis film. And you get what you come for. I could easily watch it again. And I would also anticipate a sequel here, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I would love that though.
That's what everything's made for these days.
You got to
Like,
set up for that sequel.
yeah, none of these directors are new. Like, they're not getting big budgies.
We'll
for
get a
new
synthetic
flicks.
sequel
Like, this
together
is all
for you.
made for five.
We could absolutely make a synthetic sequel for this.
Yeah, we could. But I'm sure they already have 4 in the can waiting to be dropped.
Definitely check out Nobody and Mortal Kombat. Both worth a watch.
Definitely
Both
worth
awesome
seeing.
action movies and totally worth seeing. You go in wanting action, good fights.
You get it.
And that's what you get.
And it's new, so who cares?
Exactly. Something different. New. Let's move on to our track of the week. Out of Fayetteville, Arkansas, this is Happily Never After with Before We Burn.
Hold on, lover, the way that we are. You knew that I couldn't change the way you looked at me, so keep on losing. We're running in circles, never catching the line we made. 2 hearts were one for nothing. Failure, I hope you know. I'll learn to live to live without you holding me. Let me breathe. We'll turn back time and fix the love we left behind. I'll find a way, a
All right. Very nice. And a fitting finale to our fight flavored soda.
That was heavy.
Yeah.
I want to punch something.
You can check out the video for Before We Burn and more tracks by Happily Never After on YouTube, and keep on sending those excellent track submissions to somethincrunchy@gmail.com. The deadline to enter for the 8080 Dream Car giveaway number 44 for a McLaren 600 LT plus $60,000 in cash is coming up on May 2nd. Discount code Crunchy for an extra 10-15% off. This is such a great deal.
Yes.
So is visiting somethingcrunchy.com, where you will find every episode, our links for social media, and the almighty Crunch Store, where you will find all kinds of crunchy gear showing that you are a proud citizen of Crunch Nation. Don't hesitate to check out that Something Crunchy Facebook group. Invite a friend and just put your keys in the bowl over there when you get here. It's the most fun you can have with your pants on. This has been another episode of Something Crunchy, and as always, don't ever forget to live your crunchiest life.
And be crunchy to one another.
Please don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, and all that crunchy good shit. Thank you for listening.
Feel free to take some sips and ribs.
Ribs.
Welcome to a new episode of Sips and Ribs. It's hot.
It's hot.
That Hansel is so hot right now.
Steve's on hot.
30 seconds till we are live. That was nice. Wow. Face.
5, 6, 7, 8.
God, it had that like treble and bass.
Yeah.
It was full flavored. So if I do something and it like doesn't sound good, just know it's like it'll be replaced with something cooler later. So still react as if it was cool.
Even if it wasn't like.
Even if it didn't
As if
sound
it was-
cool. Just kind of like act like it was cool.
As if it worked.
And a couple fun facts if we're just talking about Bridget Wilson playing Sonia.
Please.
We're all about the fun facts here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. That was last week. Wait, where am I? Lost. I don't know where I am.
Can I take a sip?
Oh yeah, take a fat sip. Blister fat sips.
Speaking of sips.
Speaking, no one's looking.
Patreon.
Why? Where do they get? What did we just talk about?
Who are you?
And let
What do
me
you
preface
got?
this with,
No shit.
get off Netflix, you piece of shit.
Yeah. Quit watching Friends rewinds. Rewinds?
Roads.
Rewind. We sound so old.
Rudes.
Wait a minute. That's not right.